Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Key Ingredient Podcast. Today I'm on location at beautiful Ferrari of Naples. This is going to be a lot of fun, so buckle up and join me. Today I'm joined by Rosa. Helder is the general manager of Ferrari of Naples. Helder, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me, Stefan.
I'm really excited because this is obviously a pretty cool place to be, and for someone who's lived down in Southwest Florida for so long, I can tell you this is way overdue. I mean, having a presence of Ferrari down here is something I think a lot of people have wanted. So if you don't mind, maybe tell us just a little bit about really the history of this dealership.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say we've heard the community. And what I mean by that is, why hasn't there been a Ferrari dealership in Naples? And I think a lot of that comes from clients that do have Ferraris, and Florida market in particular in relation to Ferrari is one of the biggest markets in North America. Prior to our existence, anyone that wanted to have their Ferrari serviced, or if they were in the market to purchase a new or used Ferrari, would have to travel 2.5 hours north of Naples or about 2 hours south into the Miami area. So a huge inconvenience for clients, again, looking to buy or service their Ferrari. So as Ferrari North America did their due diligence and the extensive surveys, and given all the wealth and everything happening in Naples, there was the need for a Ferrari dealership in Naples. So here we are.
It's great. So how long has the dealership actually been here so far?
So we opened officially in January of this year. So we just completed our 9th month in business, and we opened right at the right time, in season, and a lot of pent-up demand, and what can I say? It's been a great 9 months.
Well, you're in a great location. Obviously, there's so much growth going on down here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe the Ferrari Club actually has a presence down here as well. It's like you said, it's a pretty large one. So tell me a little bit about that. Any idea how many members they have in the club?
Sure. Yeah, actually, surprised to me prior to coming down to Florida from the Midwest, but the Naples chapter Ferrari Club is the largest Ferrari club in North America. And the number right now, I want to say, is about over 300 members.
Wow. In
the Naples chapter. So there's other regional clubs in Florida, but Naples in particular has the largest chapter in North America.
That's amazing. So let's have a little fun here. So for someone who's looking to get their first Ferrari, generally speaking, this is a question a lot of us have had, what color do they tend to? So is it true when they say your first Ferrari should be red?
There's always yes, Ferraris are meant to be red, and so, the red is always probably the first choice, although given there's various different types of red, so I would encourage anyone that may want to go the traditional route to look at some of the other reds as well. And that's what our job. So our job is to really help the clients navigate and explore the different options that are available.
Yeah, and you also customize Ferraris here as well. So if I came in and I wanted a Ferrari to look a certain way, sound a certain way, that's something you do here as well, correct?
Absolutely. We can customize down to the lug nuts, within the wheels. And so a Ferrari can be fully customized. There's 3 different variations of customization within a Ferrari, one of which, and 80% of it, takes place here in our fitting lounge in Naples. Otherwise, for those that really want to get to the next level, there's the ability to do customization in New York City at our Ferrari studio. And then they can go to the extent of involving some of our partners in Italy. And so that would be for someone looking for non-automotive materials. For example, if they're looking to put have suede seats or a suede headliner, things of that sort, we can really go and fully customize.
Wow. What are some of the more unique requests you get? Does anyone come in and say they want something just so different than you used to, or is it usually pretty much in a realm of what you're used to doing?
For the most part, it's pretty general. Although I would say, our professionals at the dealership, depending on the client's wants and needs, and as we interact with our guests, we really start to determine whether or not the client, there's clients that just don't even know that these options are available. So our client advisors will do the job and determine whether or not the client, that's something that would fit their needs, and if so, we'll expose them to that. But generally speaking, they're just doing the customization at the store level.
So definitely red, I think there's no doubt about that. Now the calipers, I guess, is where it gets a little tricky for me because there are so many options. So I really have to think about, I guess, what I want that to look like. But overall, I think the colors look great, and I'm really happy with it. So here we are in under an hour. William was able to help me build my dream Ferrari car, and I'm really excited to see what it looks like.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we chose the perfect combination. Rosa Corsa red being the #1 choice for Ferrari, so we did the right thing there. And also the contrast of the wheels, interior went really well together. So we have a fantastic build here.
So question for you, Helder. So for those who already own Ferraris, and obviously, there are a lot of snowbirds down here, maybe they didn't purchase their vehicle actually here. Is that something you'll do? You'll actually service their car here as well, or did they have to purchase it here?
Absolutely. We'll service any Ferrari, regardless of age, regardless of where it was purchased from. For us, being a new dealership, a lot of our clients, 9 out of 10 of our clients thus far, have come from other dealerships because we are new. So we encourage anyone, regardless of where you purchase your vehicle from, to service with us.
Okay. So I'll ask you a personal question as far as Ferrari goes. What's your favorite make and model? What do you like?
What can I say? I am a big fan of the V12 front engine, from the styling to the performance. So I'd have to say, an F12, 812, something within the front engine V12. That's my preference.
That sounds nice. Red?
No, actually, I'm not sure that I would do red.
What color?
I'm a big fan of blue. If you can't tell, my blue tie, my blue suit.
I'm the same way, so I understand.
So I would probably tend to lean towards some of the blue colors, darker blues.
So it seems like the whole industry is going electric, right? Everybody's discussing electric, hybrid. Tell us a little bit about kind of what Ferrari's doing in that front.
Yeah, I would say Ferrari is definitely, we have some hybrid models that we're now introducing. In fact, we've had the LaFerrari, for example, has been one that is a hybrid model, but we are starting to pivot, and we have some models that are in the works. I would say as we progress into the future, we're going to see more and more hybrids. But we do have the SF90 that just came out, been well received. We're talking just shy of 1,000 horsepower.
Wow.
And so although there may be some apprehension on buying hybrids, given the DNA of Ferrari with the combustion engine, what Ferrari has been able to do so well thus far is produce 1,000 horsepower hybrid vehicles that still sound like a Ferrari, drive like a Ferrari. So as long as they don't lose that touch, then we're off to the races.
Well, I guess that's the key. People still want to hear their Ferrari, right? You can't have that silent electric type of sound, so
Absolutely.
I get that.
I don't think Ferrari's going to lose that.
Yeah. So Helder, when you pull up to this location, it is in a prime location in North Naples, but I'll tell you, it's a massive facility. And one of the things I noticed when I pulled up was it was just so big, and I was trying to get an understanding of what the dealership's all about. What, I guess from an experience point of view, what should clients who come here looking for a Ferrari actually expect?
Yeah, it's a great question. I would say first off, our dealership is just over 55,000 square feet. So the intent behind the building is to have 99% of our vehicles be kept indoors. So we have approximately 50 to 60 car showroom. Within the showroom, we have the various different experience centers, one of which we just touched upon, which is the fitting lounge. In addition to that, we have an exclusive executive conference room, and we actually encourage any of our local executives within the community to feel free and use our conference room.
That's great. Wow, that's a lot of cars, 50 to 60. How do you actually get them in here?
So we have a 2-car elevator that's on the south end of the building, and so the vehicles are placed inside the elevators, and they're brought to the second floor, and that's how we get them inside.
Wow, that must take a while to actually do that whole process, I would imagine.
We have it down pat. We have it down to a science now. We currently have 5 certified Ferrari technicians of those 5, 1 of them are master certified. And with having certified technicians, a master technician really enables us to, the goal in service is to get our clients' cars fixed right the first time. And so some of the tools that we have that enables us to do that, and given that the mileage sensitivity on these vehicles, we don't typically like to take the cars out on the road to diagnose any noises or customer complaints of that sort. So we actually have a dyno, which is pretty cool. Are you familiar with the dyno?
No, I'm actually not. So tell me a little bit about kind of how that works.
So a car dyno, essentially what it does is think of it as a treadmill, if you would. You place the vehicle on the dyno, in this case the treadmill. You strap it down, and this will allow us to do a multitude of different things. So for example, if you have a Ferrari and you have a noise coming from the back end, we'll put it on the dyno, and our technicians will then look or try to diagnose where that noise is coming from. In addition to that, if somebody's into tuning or they want to take their vehicle out on the track and they want to get vitals of their car, so what's the horsepower look like? If it's a 10-year-old Ferrari, am I still getting optimal power out of my vehicle? And so a way to do that is put it on the dyno, and while the vehicle's running on the dyno at full speed, it will provide a reading on a giant screen that we have in our service center, which will then allow the technicians to take a look at its vitals. And we would provide that feedback to the clients, and they make those modifications from that report.
That's pretty sophisticated. I like that.
All right.
This was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Visit Ferrari Naples.